what they fear. This is what they have worked to try to stop. This moment. Now. They have tried to hide your struggle against oppression, your crimes against injustice. They have been afraid we would recognize them as our own. They have tried to keep us divided with manufactured arguments that reach predicted conclusions. They have gotten good at their job, but they cannot keep you silent. What began as a whisper half a world away has become a fury of righteous cries as it has reached our shores. No longer can we bury our heads. No longer can we ignore responsibility. No longer can we pretend everything is just fun. Your cries for freedom, your blood, your desperation. These things remind us of our beginnings. It reminds us of a sacred duty. We have to stand up where freedoms are threatened and liberties are lost. It reminds us we have a duty to rebel against the agenda before we are consumed. Finally, we hear you and call you brother. Finally, we see you and call you sister. Finally, we can look at one another and speak truth to the powers that bind us and gather to crush us. As we speak, they are gathering here to take this last remaining frontier from the people. This is what they fear. They fear us. We hear you, Tunisia. We hear you, Morocco. We hear you, Egypt. We hear you, Yemen. We hear you, China. We hear you, Georgia. We hear you, Japan. We hear you, Paris. We hear you, New York. We hear you, London. We hear you, Syria. We hear you, Iran. We hear you, Palestine. We hear you, Spain. We hear you, Greece. The people of America would like to say hello. Let them hear us. Let them hear us all. The time has come to stand. Solidarity. Unity. People. Global. The time to stand is now. United as one. Divided by zero. Anonymous as us. Our spring is here.